Former England and Bath prop David Flatman has made a bold declaration about the modern game's coaching elite, ranking Rassie Erasmus as the greatest rugby coach of all time, and insisting that a third consecutive Rugby World Cup title would cement his legacy beyond dispute. The Flatman's comments come as South Africa target an unprecedented third straight global crown in 2027, a feat no nation has ever achieved. While debate continues over where Erasmus stands historically, the former front rower believes the Springboks mastermind is already at the summit and on the brink of standing alone. The three-peat that could redefine greatness. South Africa's back-to-back Rugby World Cup triumphs in 2019 and 2023 have placed them among the sport's modern dynasties. Should they complete a three-peat in 2027, it would be a milestone unmatched in rugby history. Appearing on the Hits Different show alongside former England scrum half Danny Care, Flatman was asked whether a third title would make Erasmus the undisputed greatest coach ever. Care posed the question directly. If South Africa were to lift the Webb Ellis Cup again, would Erasmus become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world? Flatman's answer was emphatic. Yeah, no question for me. For Flatman, 3 successive World Cups would remove any lingering doubt. Rassie wins 3, and he's the greatest of all time, and the history books don't lie, he said. Yet even without a third title, Flatman appears convinced that Erasmus' body of work already merits consideration at the very top. Hansen and the All Blacks comparison in assessing coaching greatness. Comparisons inevitably arise. One of the most compelling parallels is with Steve Hansen, who played a pivotal role in New Zealand's golden era. Hansen served as an assistant under Graham Henry during the All Blacks' 2011 Rugby World Cup triumph, before stepping into the head coach role and guiding New Zealand to another title in 2015. Those All Blacks teams are widely regarded as among the finest ever assembled. Their consistency, attacking brilliance, and aura of invincibility made them the benchmark for excellence. Flatman acknowledges that Hansen belongs firmly in the conversation. If you look at the 2 double World Cup winning teams, those All Blacks teams and Steve Hansen, they're both in the conversation, he said. However, for Flatman, Erasmus edges the comparison, particularly given the differing contexts in which their successes were achieved, turning around a struggling giant when Erasmus took charge of the Springboks in 2018. South African rugby was in turmoil. The team had endured a torrid spell under Allister Coetzee, suffering heavy defeats and sliding down the world rankings. Confidence was low. Identity was blurred. Results were inconsistent. Within 18 months, Erasmus had orchestrated one of the most remarkable turnarounds in international rugby. The Springboks not only rediscovered their physical edge, but layered it with tactical intelligence and emotional cohesion. WY 2019, they were world champions. The speed and scale of that transformation is central to Flatman's argument. While New Zealand under Hansen sustained excellence from an already dominant base, Erasmus rebuilt a wounded powerhouse and propelled it to the summit. That contrast, in Flatman's view, matters. The weight of expectation despite favoring Erasmus in the debate, Flatman also expressed admiration for Hansen's achievements under immense pressure. But I sort of love what Steve Hansen did because all the pressure was always on New Zealand, he explained. When all the pressure is always on you to beat everybody else and you deliver it, that might diminish it a bit because you're expected to win. New Zealand's rugby culture demands victory. Anything less is often viewed as failure. Maintaining dominance amid that expectation requires extraordinary mental resilience. Flatman suggested that delivering when you are universally expected to win can paradoxically reduce public appreciation of the feat. Dominance becomes normalized. Yet in recent years, that expectation has arguably weighed heavily on the All Blacks. Different relationships with defeat. One of Flatman's more intriguing observations concerned how New Zealand and South Africa handle losses. He believes the All Blacks have struggled at times with the burden of expectation, particularly in periods of transition. Actually, I think dealing with that pressure we now see as being really difficult for New Zealand, he said. The last few years it has become difficult for them. By contrast, Flatman argues that South Africa approached defeat differently. Whereas South Africa were defeat a lot better than New Zealand do, he said. They lose the odd game, And when I say don't mind, I do mean that. I think they don't mind losing the odd game between major campaigns as long as they learn from it. That willingness to accept short-term setbacks in pursuit of long-term gains has become a hallmark of Erasmus' tenure. The Springboks have experimented with combinations, rotated players, and absorbed criticism, only to peak when it matters most. At IT is a calculated pragmatism that has delivered silverware. Evolving the Springbok identity. Another pillar of Flatman's praise lies in how Erasmus has reshaped perceptions of South African rugby. Traditionally, the Springboks were characterized, sometimes simplistically, as a physically dominant side reliant on size and set-piece power. Flatman acknowledged that stereotype, describing what he termed the lazy view of South African DNA: flat-track bully, physicality, massive men. But he was quick to stress how much the team has evolved. It's so much more than that now, he said. Under Erasmus, South Africa have retained their physical edge while adding layers of tactical sophistication, adaptability, and creativity. Their kicking game is precise, their defensive systems disciplined, and their attacking patterns increasingly inventive. Flatman highlighted players like Faf de Klerk and Cobus Renock as examples. Even though neither is physically imposing by traditional standards, both bring aggression, intensity, and technical skill that reflect a broader cultural shift. You have to deal with the physical threat everywhere, Flatman said. Even Faf de Klerk, he is a little bloke, but so aggressive, so powerful. Cobus Renock is not a big unit, but so aggressive and powerful. It's everywhere. This blend of brute force and finesse has made the Springboks uniquely difficult to counter. Innovation and open-mindedness. Flatman also praised Erasmus for his willingness to embrace innovation. From tactical substitutions and squad rotation to psychological strategies and meticulous analysis, Erasmus has demonstrated a readiness to challenge convention. His teams have shown adaptability across conditions and opposition styles, a flexibility that has underpinned their success in knockout rugby. Flatman believes that openness to new ideas is a defining trait of a great coach. They're open to so many new ideas, he said. He is evidently a wonderful rugby coach and probably the greatest of all time already. The legacy question. Ultimately, debates over greatness hinge on legacy. That Hansen's All Black set records, sustained dominance, and redefined attacking rugby. Their influence on the global game remains profound. Erasmus, meanwhile, restored pride to South African rugby, united a diverse playing group, and delivered consecutive World Cups while evolving the team's identity. If he were to secure a third title in 2027, the argument might effectively end. 3 consecutive World Cups would stand as an unparalleled achievement. But even without that third crown, Flatman's stance is clear. Erasmus' impact transcends trophies. He rebuilt a fallen giant. He modernized a traditional power. He cultivated resilience and tactical intelligence. And he fostered a mentality that embraces learning from defeat rather than fearing it. For Flatman, that combination of transformation, innovation, and sustained success is enough. As the countdown to 2027 begins, rugby fans will continue to debate coaching hierarchies. Yet if South Africa continue their ascent under Erasmus, history may well validate Flatman's conviction. Point 3 in a row would not just confirm a dynasty. It would etch Rassie Erasmus' name permanently at the pinnacle of rugby coaching greatness.